Explosions. Excitement. It's the limited banners designed to squeeze at least 100 pulls out of you before the main fest units. Unless you're this guy, in which case I believe I'm united with the rest of Sensei kind in hating you. They do this with the trickle of 100 free pulls. The 10x10 drip by drip that crushes the feeble-willed Sensei into pouring 110 pulls in on day one. Surely that wasn't me. That was me. The students du jour are Armed Ryo and Armed Himari. Armed Hoshino used the same alt tag Rinsen, so I'm assuming that's what these two will receive too. I'm sure some of y'all dissatisfied localization enthusiasts want battle or something. Anyways, I have a confession to make. I'm from the future. One where Himari and Ryo have been tested a number of times. We technically have the battle simulator now too to test various things, but I'm still mainly going to go off of the ranked results. So let's tackle the pull recommendation with some future sight in hand. First up is Big Sister. She's the first red striker dealer in nearly literal years to challenge Dress Hina to a straight up EX damage battle. And how does she do that? With her ultra thick EX ratio. None of that Yu-Gi-Oh card 1000 word essay nonsense. In the original script to this video, I was a lot less optimistic about her chances, but I somewhat underestimated her. Not to say that she's blown away Hina, but she's carved out a reasonably impressive niche for herself. This is courtesy of her superior compatibility with herself. Yes, the key to Armed Ryo's power is circle jerking. She awards herself medals and copies of her own EX like any outstanding president does. We've had a few chances to see her power, like that time she 3 conservatively 4-shot Hieronymus on Insane faster than Hina could. Or more recently, like how she made big contributions to doing Kaiten fast on his first Lunatic print. She can also handle the 15-hit count shield of Phase 2 on her own with her 19-hit EX skill, whereas Hina can't with her total 13-hit EX skill. Beyond raw damage, I will note that her subskill isn't that pleasant to use. It's a powerful debuff type that has a chance to apply on every shot of her basic attack, but it's not nearly as reliable as the similar one by Armed Hoshino. She has a smaller clip, she shoots slower, and it doesn't even last as long either at 13 seconds versus Hoshino's 20 seconds. I'll forgive her though. She's not the one canonically hailed as the previous strongest student in Kivodos. So, who should pull? Do you very much like Kaiten and Hieronymus and want to ensure you clear their Lunatic? Do you want to help Ryo get in shape so she can actually clear a hurdle? Will you have enough? Or are you willing to call upon the power of the adult card to ensure you have enough Pyros for the blue and white Roomba? Then Armed Ryo might be your gal. I will say most middle of the pack meta slaves probably don't need to have their own copy. Plenty of people are still getting platinum in the Torment Bald Wars with someone else's Ryo when necessary. There should be a few UE60s out there. She seems popular enough. Now for someone who's hard to skip. It's Himari zipping in on her Excite bike. Correction, not a bike. All-terrain wheelchair. Himari, as was prophesized, is strong. She rides into battle as a tactical support and wreaks yellow havoc as expected. It's basically the requested striker, not striker Himari. And she too is contesting titans of the past. Himari challenges the incumbent cost recovery queen Kisaki who threw the old Himari off a meta cliff. Between her trio of buffs and debuffs with nearly 100% uptime linked to her EX skill, she's performed admirably. She's been used in pretty much all yellow stuff since her release. Some notes. The single target yellow buff is pretty potent. It's now the strongest individual yellow effectiveness buff in the game at 76.3%, and it's basically 100% uptime. Yellow buffs have been in a strange place. Whereas red has Swimsuit Hoshino and blue has New Year Kyoko and Kei, yellow had only the expensive Swimsuit Ui and Seiya. The latter who's coming from a normal skill that targets the nearest student could cause difficulties at times. So far, she's posted results in most yellow raids she's touched. From Total Assault to Grand Assault to Final Restriction Release. Do you pull her? For most senseis, the answer is a resounding yes. 100 pulls is a steal for the new queen of yellow buffing. The only people who have to make a hard decision are those who would be risking not getting K. To which people would generally recommend K considering you'd be setting yourself up for a life similar to not having Swimsuit Hoshino. It'll be painful, but that's the struggle of playing a resource management simulator. And with that, the brief rundown of the targets is done. Time to start pulling. Thanks to my good fortune in pulling Swimsuit Hoshino, I was able to save a good amount of Pyroxene for the limited banners and the actual Fest banner. Let me just take care of some rituals first. Let's check out the Spook Hopes list. This is not a tier list, even if some of the students on it are meta. It's just the students that I want for various, mostly not exclusive to meta reasons. Okay, let's get pulling. We'll start with Himari. You can technically spook the other pickup, but when does that ever happen? Thank you for your usual service, Aruna. I take that back. You're a very kind individual, Aruna. So who's first? Hot Spring Shigure. She's generally used in the tower and as a good but not premier healer for Kurokage. Think adjustment teams or Team 3+. Magical Raisa has been eating a lot of her lunch. Ah, back to usual. More of the usual. 30 pulls of dry. So how about some trivia? Game recognizes game. Like Utaha and Himari sensing a kindred karaoke spirit and having an impromptu session. Gotta say, it's fun to make these things to reminisce on the highs and lows of Arona's wild ride. Not looking good. Somber moods call for more trivia. Himari has a Yule log screensaver, but instead of a log, she's got a leaf doing the rose dramatics of Beauty and the Beast. It doesn't look like this will be my last petal yet, though. Nice, 2. Early fest start. Megu. She has her moments in PvP and the very occasional joint firing drills. But you don't see her used very often. Saki? Especially after her bond gear let her normal skill target 3 enemies instead of 1 and added a stun, she's seen more PvP action. She can also be used for the crowd control required in the second phase of Yasad. Let's keep trooping on. Past the 100 mark, but we're still doing fine in terms of expected value. Throw caution to the wind and let's see what the next pull is. Hey, Arya's summer squad represent!
暑いし、ベタベタする。で、何するの?
Swimsuit Misaki. She's come for the crown of Gregorious Lunatic. After a certain bat lady started dominating where she wasn't supposed to in Torment, they made a big change to Lunatic where only special students get guaranteed crit in the final phase. Let's welcome the next student with an XD. Maid Aris. Affectionately dubbed Mauled Aris for the hair loss of doing consecutive crit coin flips in her comps. She has been immensely power crept by herself, but we might still see her yet with Shirokuro Lunatic still at large. 60 pulls left, it's got me sweating. Nice!
電子の領域を制する最も合理的な答えをあなたに見せてあげる。
Armed Rio? What? That just happened. I'm getting deja vu. This happened during the Millennium Expo as well when I was rolling for school Neru. Big sister's looking out for me. I feel so loved. And a bit scared. Cheer Kotori. You see her sometimes in PvP, Chesed, and joint firing drills. But people tend to do just fine without her. Well, I guess that guarantees that I get both within 200. I could complain about how I lose Ellipse on Rio because she's not a pickup, but that would be looking a gift horse in the mouth. No way, right? Another new student at least, very nice. New Yuri Izumi. They thought so little of her as her own character that they decided to make her a clone of Miku who is never coming back. You could use her in a throw team, but she's rarely seen. The chances keep coming. Ichika? This is the 3rd time she's come of her own accord on my account. Something about her evolved Mobchan aesthetic appeals to me. So I'm happy to welcome her again, even if she can't stack up to the monster who ruined purple. Is this really not a fest banner? And more new students, my favorite!
二度もは風の工事ゆかりと申します。誇り高き百花繚乱の一員として先生のために誠心誠意努めてまいりましょう。
Yukari? What is this? Swimsuit Hanako Refugee Hour? I mean, welcome. Nobody really uses this goober unless they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but welcome nonetheless. Last 10 pulls. It begins. First check is a fail. profuse sweating at the last chance. And also no good. Let's just not complain about this. We will round out this session by gratefully sparking Himari.
Buchou, 潜入後方支援すべてをこなせる超天才清楚系病弱万能美少女ハッカーこと明星ひまり満を持して登場です。先生、お待たせいたしました。
Armed Himari. It's been a strange set of pulls, but I'm okay with this. Ride safely, Grandma. Let's close out with a review of how we did. 1 pickup by Spook, 1 pickup by Spark, and 1 incidental sad girl who got to enjoy the beach. We've also achieved nearly fest rates of 3 stars. That's pretty excellent. Yay. Good luck to the global folks who will be rolling this soon. Thanks for watching.